Hello, and welcome to the final episode of My Camera's in the Wrong Place for some reason. 1 second.
Oh, you're like hanging out with
Welcome.
me.
It super looked like Catherine was hiding behind your shelf.
I was. Surprise, guys.
Welcome to the show where I always have one thing slightly wrong. Welcome to the finale of Fun Shots Where Memories Sleep, where we are playing Ryutama, and it's gonna be a whole time. Before we get into that whole time, it's been like a lot of weeks since we played. So let's go around and talk about how you've been. How are things going? And I'm just gonna go around the overlay. So that means we get to start with Catherine, our busiest of friends.
I know. I'm so sorry, guys. The reason there hasn't been any memories sleeping, well, I guess the memories were sleeping. My work schedule has been insane. I just got back from San Diego Comic-Con, where I stage managed a small indie movie panel from Marvel.
Yeah, just a little thing. Just a deal.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff. So it's big, all good stuff. Just really, really busy right now. I've got another big show coming up here in a couple weeks, so it's like crazy time right now. But I'm super excited to be back. I beat Shadowbringers, in case anyone was worried that I didn't beat it. I did.
Oh, yeah, I was losing sleep over it. I was like, I don't know if Catherine is playing enough Final Fantasy with all of this work that she has to do.
She managed to beat it. But I've been fantastic. I'm super excited to see what happens with our lovely mom characters.
Yes. Our party of
literal team mom. Just a whole team of moms.
Yeah. Awesome. Kirby, how you been?
I've been up and down a little bit, but I'm doing better now, and this has me excited. I'm looking forward to this. I went to Cedar Point with friends. That ended up being It was fun, but yeah, it was a good time. And then I'm going to Gen Con next week, so I've been trying to get ready for that. So
awesome.
Sweet.
Have fun.
Thank you. I will do my best.
I have never been, but having it described to me, it sounds like a lot. And not
I went to Gen Con once.
Not in like too much, but just like everything, but lots of it.
Yeah, you really have to pick and choose what you want to do, or you can just accept the fact you can't do everything. You just
I went to Gen Con in 2004 because one of my friends told me it was a video game con. It wasn't.
No, it's really not.
But you know
how disappointing!
Part, right? They got the game part right.
We had a
That's
good
true.
time, and I had never played one of these games back then. We had a good time though. We had a good time.
Well, that's good.
Talk about shifted expectations.
And I was in my Princess Zelda dress. Like I was like, "Let's go, video game con."
I mean, that said, I'd be surprised if anyone was like, no, that doesn't belong here.
No, everyone was chill.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's an RPG convention, so if you only think of RPGs as video games, then it makes sense.
Simple mistake to make.
Just go through 2 dungeon dressed as Princess Zelda.
It's great. It's perfect.
Awesome. Janaya, you just got off of a game like a couple minutes ago.
I did. I'm actually having a little bit of trouble like trying to stack my brain and be like, you are no longer this person that is not you. Now you are this other person who is also not you.
That is a mood. Been there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just finished playing our weekly Invisible Sun game on Otherdocs channel, and that's going really well. It's starting to kind of like build up. I'm really loving the development sessions. I kind of like the in-between parts, almost more than the get-together parts, but I'm sure that will switch as we get into more of like knee-deep into the mystery. But yeah, that's been great. I don't know where I've been for the last few weeks. That's a long time. But I think I think basically I've been okay. I found a new local gaming place to play games in person, which is exciting for me. I played The Play Is the Thing for the first time, which is a game where you play actors doing a Shakespeare play, and you get to basically spend fate points to screw up the play for the director. So you end up like we did this completely feminist Art Nouveau re-envisioning of Othello.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of games and
Oh
going through
yeah,
life.
actually, the three of you should definitely play that one on a stream somewhere. I would watch
Yeah.
that. I would get
Yeah.
tickets for that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I definitely, while I was playing, it was like, oh man, this team of people to do this play, and this team of people to do this play,
Grab a
and
bunch of
can you
theater
imagine
nerds.
what we could do to a Midsummer Night's Dream together? Oh my god!
Yes. Yes, I'm here for it. Okay, if I need something for next season of Fun Shots, I will approach you about it. Be like, Shania on this. Oh man. That's wild. You played a new take on Fall of Magic, like accidentally, right?
Oh yeah, well, I played a Fall of Magic for the first time where the Megas was bad, like which I'd
Oh.
never done before. It's almost always been a woman, and it's been somebody that we're like spiriting away to rescue to save magic. And so I've decided that I actually want to run a game that's intentionally like that, probably on stream and do the whole distance of the map, but it will be magic is dying and the Magus is dying with it. Thank all the heavens.
Oh.
And basically, we have gathered together to take the Magus from Ravenhall all the way across the map to the realm of Umbria to be executed.
Oh wow.
And I'm going to write a chorus for along the way, just like they do with the Songs of the Axe and Fiddle, where you can do a chorus for that place that you go to. And it's basically going to be what has magic done here? And then you roll the die, and a 1 to 2, you say what the loss of magic has caused, 3 to 4, what the existence of magic has caused, or 5 to 6, what does this cost us?
Oh man.
So
Sounds
yeah,
fun.
I'm really excited about it. So I'm starting to I've put together the overlay, and I'm starting to get an idea of good groups. So, if that sounds like your jam, you should send me a message.
I've never played Fall of Magic, but I hear so many great things.
You would
How is
rock
that
it.
true? You would love that game.
I'm
It's-
sure I would.
You could
Well-
you can play a Knight of Stormguard. You would be fantastic.
Jess, I feel like in the rare moments where you and I butt heads about a game, it's because you want fewer rules and I want more of them. And Fall of Magic is like the most rules light, narrative, wishy-washy, do what you want game. Like, there's a reason that Spoken Magic came out of my trying to do something Fall of Magic like. Like, it is super hands-off. You would kick ass at it.
Sweet.
Um,
It's on the list. I just haven't.
Yeah, the
Well-
very short list of games that you want to play.
Yes.
Mood.
Speaking of which, how are you? How have you been?
Gosh, I don't know. It's been a whole maybe 24 hours since you and I last saw each other
Less than.
like this last night.
Been a while since the channel saw you.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like a week-ish.
Yeah. I don't know.
What have I been up to? I've been up to playing games, prepping for games, navigating a dumpster fire that is my day job, but that's okay. So be it. Last night in particular, we did Ghost Club. Omori High School Ghost Club over on my channel is my Monster of the Week campaign. The most anime thing I have ever done, will ever do, probably.
Yep.
It is exactly what it needs to be because my players are great at that shit. We got plot, and that was exciting.
Yeah.
We had some plot sneaking on in there, and I don't know, Genji's about to be kidnapped by his teacher who may or may not be with the Yakuza. We're not sure.
It's fine.
Well, I know what's going to happen, but Dylan has no idea.
I have some suspicions. I think I'm a lot closer to being correct than my character is. My character is convinced his teacher is working with the Yakuza and is going to throw him into a white van. Dylan is not so sure. Dylan thinks there's some other more supernatural shit afoot. But yeah, Genji is... Because Genji wants everything to be normal, he's always going to assume that a weird thing is the most normal explanation for it. So, yeah, that was fun.
So that'll be exciting. When we pick that back up again, my cat is yelling
Hello.
loudly. Prepping for this game, prepping for another game that Dylan will be in as well. We did some session 0.5 things and solidified more about that world and the characters, and it's going to be a lot of fun and very cute. Gosh.
Started
Fire Emblem
last night. Yeah.
We started Fire Emblem 3 Houses last night, and I had a literal panic attack of some kind.
Fire Emblem, this hair.
I went in, I was like, I am going Blue Lions because Dimitri is my boy. And then I talked to Claude and I was like, well,
oh my.
you know. But
Fire
ultimately, we
Emblem,
stuck to
these
our
hotties.
It really is. Literally every student in that game is precious in some way.
They're so good. Like everyone except Hubert, I think. Hubert's the
Yeah,
only one
I'm
where
like-
I'm kind of like, eh.
I think, was it Anna? I don't remember who was it said in chat that like Hubert was giving off like strong Dark Lord vibes.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like big Dark Lord energy right there.
Yep.
So, Fire Emblem. Everybody's hot. You have to choose between the 3 houses, and that part sucks, but so be it.
Well, and there are lots of cats, which I appreciate. My complaint as a viewer was that you cannot pet the cats.
I know, I'm a
Or
little
dogs.
sad you can't interact with the animals.
You should at least have like an interact, and then it like pops up a text box where they say meow or woof, and then you're like, ah, yes, a cute animal. Like that bare minimum of interaction is required.
Yeah.
Did we not learn from Game of Thrones that rejecting the idea of animal interaction creates massive amount of fan breakdown?
Honestly,
Man,
people need
there
to get
were-
their priorities.
There were some hot takes that came out of the last season, but that one I think was the one that made me walk away from Twitter the fastest. I like logged into Twitter to see people's reactions to the episode, saw people being like, "How dare you!" and I just put my phone down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed.
We're like, never mind.
Yeah, people were mad. Should we let Dylan know there's a video game where you play as a cat? I'm sure there are many. Rock.
Yeah.
There are also video games where you get to play as a dog. I think Okami is the big one that jumps to mind for me.
I mean, one of my favorite parts about Yonder was still that you literally had a quest, an ongoing quest to just rescue
Yeah,
kitties.
just collect the cats.
Yeah, it was just that was all it was. You just collected them.
Yeah, cat collector. That's gonna be me someday. Just going out and collecting the cats. Be like, oh, kitty, come home. Yep.
Yeah. So it's been Friday was full of anime and goodness.
Awesome. That is always good times. Friday was. Am I allowed to talk about this? It's my own thing. I guess I am. Shh, don't tell the cops. Friday has been anime nights, where I'm not going to talk about how it happens, but where we watch anime together, and it's good fun. And we've been watching One Punch Man these past 2 weeks, while we sort through new shows and a schedule shift. And gosh, that show is just wild. It's not my first time watching it, but it like everything about it that could be just like weird and over the top is to the fullest extent possible. And I love it. It's like when you're watching Dragon Ball Z, right? And they're standing there talking for 30 minutes, and it's just ridiculous. The stuff they're saying is ridiculous. The things they're doing is ridiculous. The character design is ridiculous. Everything about it is ridiculous. But the anime, like Dragon Ball Z, it's part of the structure of the show or the manga that it's that way.
It sells it.
And it sells it, it commits to it, but it doesn't acknowledge it. One Punch Man is like they saw that and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that, but we're also gonna be really aware of it. Like, fucking the first episode or something.
But what if Dragon Ball Z was self-aware?
Yeah. and more over the top. Even like there's stopping a punch and then the shockwave from the halted punch like blows a hole in a mountain and shit like that. The first episode or something, like the first monster that Saitama fights before he decides to become a hero is like a half lobster half man who became that way because he ate too much lobster, where he's this like upper half lobster guy and then bottom half is just like these hairy ass legs and fucking tidy whities.
What on
It's like,
earth?
it's this evil killer lobster who's like, ah yes, I will cause suffering to people who make fun of me. Have you seen this kid who has a huge chin? And you later see this kid who has a huge chin. It's just a kid with like basically a butt on his face. That's the character design. That's it. That's the character. That's it. I love it. It's so good.
I'm just remembering the reason why he's bald in the first place is because of an extreme workout routine. Like,
Yeah, he worked out too much and all his hair fell out. Oh, it's just, it's such pure ridiculous, pure fun.
I don't know if you could get away with making that work in any media, any genre or type of media other than anime.
No, I mean cartoons have done similar things,
sure.
but like I think because American cartoons are often super silly unless they're meant to be more adult, in which case they tend to move away from humor at all. Like whereas anime is really comfortable, like as a medium, anime is often really
courts
comfortable.
mood whiplash like always.
Yeah, and it's part of the humor, right?
Mhm.
And it works so well because you can just be so perfectly serious with like a change of tone and a change of animation style, and then immediately pop to something way sillier, which One Punch Man does all the time. So that's been fun. And I saw Hamilton on Tuesday. So
Great show.
That was
is
cool.
that all?
yeah. Got really lucky. And it was really good. I had never listened to it at all beforehand, because I saw everyone being excited about it, and I went, well, maybe I'll see it when it hits San Francisco, like, because everybody's saying it's good, and if I listen to the soundtrack to a musical before I see the musical, then when I watch the musical in theater, it feels wrong because like it's a different cast and yada yada. But if I see the musical and then listen to the soundtrack afterward, like I get some of that. These aren't the voices that I heard the first time, but it recalls memories of the stage production as I'm listening to it. So I sort of put a moratorium for myself on actually listening to it. And I'll be honest, going into it on Tuesday, I was like, this is probably going to be good, but it's also probably a little overrated. Like, people really fucking like this thing, sure, but like, you never know when the entire world explodes about a thing, if it's actually like world-shatteringly good, or if it's just like pretty good and people are excited about it, right? Which is fair and fine. And so I went in with that expectation just to like get myself to a point where if it wasn't amazing, I wouldn't be disappointed. And then like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes in, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great! This is awesome! Like laughing and crying. It was so good. It was so good. It was everything the internet hyped it up to be for me. So
I saw the show a couple years ago, and yeah, it's so fun.
yeah,
So fun.
I think my favorite like recurring thing is the little Aaron Burr Sir motif that pops up throughout it. It's just it has such a satisfying back and forth and rhythm to it that like just hearing it every time I was like, oh yes, that tickles me in this weird poetic way. And all of today I've had You'll Be Back stuck in my head, so I've just been listening to it on repeat on Spotify.
Yeah, there was that thing, it was probably a year ago now, where they were everybody was posting their doing renditions of the various Hamilton songs and sharing them across social media. It was like a thing that Lin-Manuel Miranda had started going for, like a sweepstakes or like a drawing or whatever, just to drum up social bullshit. You'll Be Back was the one that I was practicing with intent to sing. I know that song a little too well.
It's so good. It's so good. And the recording that's on SoundCloud, the original broadcast or Broadway cast version, is really good. The guy that we had as King George for our production, he hammed it up so much, and like he took it the extra step with something about his vocal quality really lent himself to that character, and just being like, oh, I'm a smarmy tiny little British man. It was so good. Every time he came on stage I was like, yay.
I highly recommend looking up the girl who does all the Google Translates versions of the song. She did that one. It's amazing.
Oh, okay. I know what
it
I'm doing.
It is so
after
far
the stream
beyond
tonight.
incredible.
Awesome. So yeah, that's what's been up with me. But we've been doing intros for like 20 minutes now. Do we want to?
Should we play some Ryutama?
Want to play a game?
Maybe, just possibly.
All right.
You cannot.
It's not like
delay the
anyone's expecting
inevitable.
us to.
Right. No. Right.
I feel reasonably assured that we could all just sit here and chat for an hour, and people might be here for it.
I mean,
This has suddenly turned into a talk show, guys. Watch out.
that's fine.
Ryutama?
Yeah.
Ryutama.
Yeah, why not?
Let's Ryutama. So it's been a hot minute. Do we remember what happened last time?
It was scary, and then it was sad, and then it was happy.
Kathira wasn't so happy at the end. It sounded like the thief, she might know him.
She might.
So she's kind of like in a conundrum, but maybe it's the same name. Who knows? So that's kind of where she's at.
Oh, who, for full disclosure for chat, so that y'all don't get confused, and also for YouTube if you're watching this there, we have renamed that character to Soren, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So if you hear us say Soren, that's who we're talking about. We're not expecting you to know some random
The
off-screen character.
mysterious possible thief with potential relations to Kathira.
Maybe, possibly. There
Who
was
knows?
definitely someone who well, let's go and recap from the top. I will start us. Previously, you all had set out from your little home in a forest where you had all awakened, and you knew the young girl Aura, who sort of kept house with you and took care, and you all left her to stay in the forest and went out to answer the call of this mysterious magic on this map that you had, to go forth and reawaken memories of the world. And you found your way to an underground facility that seemed to be a ruined war machine from the time back when all the warring was taking place. You went through this place, saw a lot of remnants. You found some recorded journals of sorts, of audio that projected itself and talked about a creature that was apparently being kept, a mist dragon that these people had planned to use as a weapon of war. And you ultimately, making your way through, you found a broken crystal area in one of the chambers that seemed to be a power chamber for the room, for the whole place. And then you were kind of accosted by the keeper of this place, or its would-be keeper, who appeared to be a small boy with quite a lot of magic.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a bit. He was a little upset that you were there. He accused you of being in league with the thief who had earlier come into his home and stole the crystal that was powering the place. Because when he saw Kathira, he's like, he looks like you! That will surely have no consequences whatsoever and was definitely not foreshadowing in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all.
Just coincidence.
It's just coincidence. That was not meaningful at all. That's not how I run games.
No foreshadowing on this channel. It's banned.
But ultimately, although he did attack all of you and you entered into combat, over time you were able to talk him down, and you came to realize that this boy was the dragon Mistral, who had been raised in this place. He was the mist dragon that they had intended to use as a tool of war, and he was left behind when the place was overtaken, and he was placed in stasis and hidden away, and everybody else who once operated this mobile fortress was probably slain or had fled, leaving him behind for the last several centuries. He gave you an artifact, a small dragon bone flute that you then were able to use. Upon playing it, it awakened one of the shards of Gaia's memories that are lying asleep in the world, and a town sprung up in the distance before you. And so with that, and with your new friend, you all made your way toward the city of Galesong. And as you did that, we did indeed see a mysterious figure cloaked with long, dark hair and intent to follow, perhaps. And that is where we left off.
Hell yeah.
So that was last time. This time, however, we will catch up with all of you soon. Back in the forest, in Gaia's Rest, you left behind Aura. And day to day, her days are quiet. Her days are safe. She keeps the home. Keeps everything that you left just as you left it. Sets places at dinner each night just in case you happen to come home. And during the day, she spends her time by the tree, under the boughs, nestled against it, sleeping and dreaming. And in her dreams, too, as there are in your dreams, there's a voice. I love you still, my children. And there is yet love in your hearts as well. A heart filled with love is a heavy burden to bear. Carry it delicately, treat it gently, lest it shatter beyond repair. A heart filled with love can bring power untold to the spirit. Love grants us strength. Love grants us resilience. Love is our light where we once saw only darkness. But light alone does not guide us in the right direction, and love can lead us astray. A heart that loves too deeply can shatter. The shards will harm many others. A heart that loves too deeply can burn out the light, leaving only darkness. A heart filled with love is a dangerous burden to bear. A heart filled with grief is. And meanwhile, you all awaken from camping on your journey toward Gale Song. And I would like you all to make a condition check for the day and make sure you restore your health and all that good jazz. Double your current HP. Bring your MP back up.
Oh yeah, what? Oh, I'm at full. Great. When did that? How did that?
Oh, so we're not there yet, so I didn't buy my goodies. Okay.
Condition check. Go.
We're gonna hand wave the logistics of the goodies just to see.
I know, but I used some of my goodies that I bought to bring up my HP, so I'm not gonna have done that.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Great.
All right.
Off to a good start. I guess 5's not bad.
Oh no.
Hey, Galena.
Sweet.
That means you
Don't
get
mind
to
me as my mouse is
Boost one of your
suddenly
stats
dead.
today. Oh damn, so does Sage.
There we go.
Oh right, I'm supposed to record my condition. I better do that before I forget.
Oh, right.
Oh, sorry. What? I'm supposed to put it somewhere?
Yes, at the top of the stats
Yes.
section.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, do I still get a +1 for the wasteland?
Yes, we're still in the
so
same
that's
terrain.
actually at 11.
Okay.
So yeah, on your stats
Mhm.
tab of your character sheet is where your condition is, and you put your current condition there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I don't think I'm supposed to have that. Did we eat delicious food last session? Because I don't think I'm supposed to have
We-
that.
We did
I
last
think it
session,
was
right
last
before we went
session.
into the...
Okay.
I think
You made us
Tully-
delicious food.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I do keep that +1. Great.
So, seems like y'all did pretty good. Yep, cool. Who's first to wake up?
I think Kathira wakes up. She didn't sleep very well. Truth be told, she kind of was thinking a lot about what Mistral said about someone looking like her. So she groggily gets up and observes her surroundings and kind of goes outside and just sits down, looking at the morning, the hustle bustle of the streets as the city folks are starting to wake up and gather their bearings.
You are
She just-
actually on the road to town. You're not.
Oh, just
there
kidding.
yet.
I'm a liar. She wakes up, guys. Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
You step out of the tent.
So she steps out of the tent and is observing the awakening world. Maybe there's some birds in the sky flying by. She takes note and kind of just breathes in.
Anybody else?
Quick question. Was your narration like another dream?
Oh.
Okay. Then Sage wakes up with like crying. There are tears on her face. And she can't remember everything in the dream, but the last line lingered for a minute of like a heart full of grief. And wonders. She cries kind of like not knowing why, but also crying for not knowing what the rest of that message is.
Mhm.
And so she actually takes some minute or two to compose herself and probably try to splash water in her face and everything before she heads out.
Mhm. Does anyone else wake up and see this? Because I think you all share a tent, do you not?
Yeah, we just have one. I think that Galena would wake up to the sounds of crying, like her mom radar would kind of kick in.
Sage would do the best quiet about it. Like when she woke up, I don't know when.
And I imagine that she would do a lot of like, "Oh, are you okay? Sage, are you all right?" And when she sees Sage kind of trying to hide it, she would be like, "Oh, I sometimes get that thing in the morning where I get a little congested too. It's
It's so unpleasant.
It is. It is. I know, especially when you're so brave to just have something like morning allergies get you. I'm gonna make you a cup of tea.
Oh, thank you. That would be good. Yes.
And
I'll go get the fire ready and everything, see if what we can do around camp for help with breakfast.
all right.
So you step outside of the tent and you see Kathira there greeting the morning, looking pensive perhaps.
Sage goes to ask if everything's all right, but then just remembers previous encounter and is just, Kathira? I was just gonna, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to let you know, I was just gonna go get the wood for the campfire, help get things ready for breakfast. I didn't know if you wanted to help out or...
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes. She springs up.
Excellent. I guess we need to start with getting tinder and everything, and then from there we can put some of the bigger logs. Don't want it too big. We have to get ready to head out soon.
Sounds good. I'm glad to help.
I'm glad to have you help.
Kathira's
Did you
very
s-
thankful for the distraction.
Meanwhile, back inside the tent, is Tally still sleeping?
I think she
Tally,
blinks awake.
you feel pretty toasty. You've got something snuggled up against you that is also still asleep.
Oh, that's too cute. I need a that's too cute card. That's not like an X card, but just like too cute. I think Tali like yawns and stretches the one free arm, and then notices that Mistral is sleeping there, and like stops and looks around the empty tent, shrugs a little bit, and just lays back down. Guess it's nap time.
Jacob paralysis.
So, a little while later, you wake again to the smell of food cooking as Sage and Kathira have acquired breakfast. Galena, did you want to do an herb check?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Me.
So while they're cooking, you emerge after making tea for Sage and go do your herb gathering check.
Got a 9.
A 9. That is a success, and I am the actual worst because I do not have the book in front of me, but I will fix that in a hot second.
Let's see. Herbs.
Wastelands.
Herbs. Wasteland. Alright. Wasteland is Crowned Morning Glory.
All right, so you can add one of those to your inventory.
Used to help
Fantastic.
ease sleep. I think this is what you got last time.
It is.
That automatically sets your next day's condition to 6.
Yep. So you will have that. And after time, Tully, you wake up, Mistral wakes up, and you all gather and have yourselves breakfast. The town is not even half a day's journey out. It was just you ran out of daylight and needed to make camp because arriving in the middle of the night is dodgy.
Sus.
Totes.
Totes sus, as they say in the industry.
Yes. The kids. Am I popular on Twitch yet?
Anyway, you have your trajectory more or less mapped out. Is there anything you all wanted to discuss or do before you set onward to the town?
I am good.
I think Tali wants to ask Mistral if he knows anything about the town.
And for the record, he's been devouring whatever food you give him.
Is
It's just
it
rations.
like he just inhales the food? Basically?
He's just like, this is really good.
Okay, Tali has definitely been like continuing
Sage
to feed
just
him.
cocks an
Just
eyebrow
like,
at that.
handing him food as he eats it to be like, I want to know how much he can eat.
You don't want him getting sick.
I'm fine.
He
Why
said
am I
he's
dragging?
fine.
We could slow down at least a little.
Okay, fine.
Had some work done.
Yeah, I think Galena will shake her head and be like, "It's not going to run away from you."
Oh. Okay.
He colors a little bit.
So, the town? I don't know. Honestly, I've never been there, but I heard them talk about it.
Yeah.
The fortress was going to be that was the next stop.
Hmm.
And then everyone got attacked, I guess.
Well, I'm glad the fortress got stopped then.
We should probably be careful.
Yeah.
I agree.
Probably shouldn't tell them that we came from. Just like
No.
turns back.
No.
Uh,
Try to blend in, guys. Act natural.
Yeah.
Well, if we knew what they looked like, we might have a better chance of blending in.
Hmm.
I'm afraid that we might just stand out just due to our dress.
Oh, I might have a spell for this, actually.
Really?
Yes,
Oh, fascinating.
Yes. Gosh, I used to do this all the time. I think I did this to my mom a few times. I could change your hairstyle, your makeup. So maybe if we can, I don't know, get a glimpse of what the common folk look like, I can give us a transformation.
If I remember right from the records in the fortress, that place was full of Azorans.
And you all know Azorans are slightly draconic, and they have sort of crystals peppering their form.
Not us.
Not you. Not even a little bit.
Well,
Well, let's just keep our heads down and be polite.
Because I'm afraid that would that work for everyone, or would it just be one person?
it's only one person, but I don't
Hmm.
know. Would you think our makeup can? Maybe it'll look like scales and horns. Who
I
volunteers
think-
as tribute?
I think with the knowledge we have that
Shoves another ration at Mistral.
He just sort of scoots back, eating very cautiously.
Steps
I think
back
with the knowledge, the information that we have, it's best to go as ourselves.
I think a please and a thank you will probably do us just fine.
It'd be worse if they caught us in disguise.
That
Yes.
was what I was
You're
thinking.
smart.
Ooh, me?
Especially with only
Yeah.
one.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll bring over the water deer and a small ration, and be like, do you want to give him his breakfast?
Can I?
Yes. Just hold your hand flat.
He holds his hand out.
I break a piece and put it in, and then set the baby deer in his lap.
And he starts to feed the little deer.
And we all died. The end.
beautiful.
Too cute!
All of us, our hearts shatter simultaneously. It's
Too much
tragic.
love.
Yeah. I think Galena will just sit and drink her tea and just watch this thing happen and be like, "This is the best day of all the days. This is the best."
No,
day."
this boy who was definitely frightened and angry when you met him seems he's smiling and looks
He's warm
properly
quickly.
about the age you think he would be based on appearance, not counting the fact he's a dragon.
Right. That, it skews things a little bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's still a kid. He's just a dragon. After a bit of time, you get yourselves packed up and set out on the road ahead. You won't need to do any direction or travel checks here. You're
We know
right
where
there
we're
by
going.
town. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna get lost. The town is literally like on the horizon.
Tolly just turns around. This way!
Tully, no!
No. Over here.
Just veering slightly the entire way. Of course,
Dang,
correct.
these controls, man.
Yeah.
You need to adjust the camera sensitivity.
Fucking tank controls is all I'm saying. Those need to die.
And so, by and by, along the road, you eventually do, in fact, enter the town, or at least you start to.
Uh-oh.
At the base of the structure, the mountainous structure that appears to be Gale Song, you can look up this vast wall of this mountain and see areas hollowed out where you can see seems to emulate buildings and structures. They've pretty much hollowed out the side of this mountain as their home. And you can see some other strange structures in the distance, but before you can actually get up close to appreciate a whole lot of that, there are guards at the base, armed and armored, and they cross spears across the entryway and stare all of you down. What business do you have in Gale Song?
I curtsy. We're just looking for a place to gather some rest, collect some supplies.
You don't seem to understand that there's a war on?
Well, there's not.
Yeah.
They kind of look at each other like there's confusion, but that they are doing their damnedest to mask that they are terribly confused by that statement.
The war's over. Has been for a long time.
The other one on the right, who's been quiet up to this point, flips his spear around till the point is practically at your chin, Tali. You're lying. That's impossible.
Just gestures at like the wasteland. Was that there before? Some time has passed. We were just crossing through when we saw your town come back.
Come back?
Have you scouted much beyond your borders?
No, we've been on a vigil in the wastelands for months.
Oh.
This place was always like this. Where are you from?
The forest?
Which forest?
The one back
Really
at, like,
far.
Gaya's Fall?
Kathira's like making weird symbols at Tali not to divulge too much
They're like-
information.
They're looking at each other like,
Wait. Look, we were confused too. And it's very shocking at first. But the war's over, and the world's changed. And I don't know, but you just need to look around and see what's happening. We're not here to harm you. We're just passing through. You're the first people we've seen in a very long time, and we're very excited to be around some people and say hello. And
the other one kind of leans over and whispers to the one that seems to be his superior. And he just sort of gives a nod. Come with us. We'll determine whether or not you're telling the truth or if you're spies. Or you can turn right back around and leave.
Oh, I think we'll be fine.
I mean, we are telling the truth.
We're here to help.
Mm.
If you need help, I guess. If not, then we're just here for like water and food and stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll step aside. One of them goes in a bit further and gestures for you to follow, and if you get into line, the other will come up behind you.
Okay.
And they will lead you through these winding hollows and passages of this place up through the mountain. You can see many other people. These guys were it's a little hard to tell their features because they're pretty much in heavy armor and helmed and such. But as you get a look at the average citizen of Galesong, they are indeed Azorans. You see, they're humanoid, they're fairly tall. Their skin is in various colorful shades of like blues and grays and things. And like they have gems and little horns and things on their heads. And pointed ears. They look vaguely similar to Mistral, but more of an earthy bent.
Earthbenders.
Earthbenders. And they lead you on past all of these people into a structure that appears to be probably the guard headquarters, and into a room which we can deal with when we come back from a break.
Oh, gosh darn it.
All right, we are going to step away for about 10 minutes, and when we come back, we are going to find out what fate awaits us here.
Oh, no.
This might be a short episode. We'll see. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to the finale of Fun Shots, Where Memories Sleep, where we are not in trouble with the authorities yet.
What do you mean?
Knowing my track record, we'll see how long that lasts.
You have done nothing. You are merely
We've done nothing wrong. We promise. Don't ask what's in the trunk.
Pay no mind to the small child behind us.
Yeah. He's ours, we promise.
Yeah, he's definitely our kid and not a former weapon of war.
Well, he is our kid now.
That's all
true,
that
that's
matters.
true.
It really is, though.
You are taken into this chamber that looks suspiciously like it might be a prison.
Mhm.
Let's just say there are doors. There are doors that have bars and things like that. You're not in there yet.
Good. Yep.
Just right next to it, you know?
Yeah.
I think Galena very casually says to maybe Tully or someone with the groups, isn't it wonderful now that the war is over? We're going to be able to create more welcoming spaces for when we bring new guests into the city instead of these sort of trappings, don't you think?
Tolly just sort of like looks at Galena. I don't think this is for guests.
I think Kathira wants to mumble a spell under her breath. Would they notice if she did that, the guards?
I don't know. You're gonna have to roll like stealthiness to do that.
Okay,
I think.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna roll a stealthiness. There's a spell she wants to cast.
Okay.
Let's see. Is that gonna be?
There is a stealth check on your sheet under common
shoot,
checks.
guys.
You are gonna have to roll that.
Bottom right, Dex.
Fingers crossed. Here I go. 8.
What is 8?
I
Let's
think
see.
that's in pretty good. I think that's just under as good as a pro.
That is just under as good as a pro. It's between pretty good and as good as a pro. So, yeah, I'm gonna
Really
say
good?
yeah, it's really good. You're really sneaky.
So
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so while Galena is admiring the surroundings and Tolly's a little concerned, Kathira very subtly places her hands along her friends and mumbles beneath her breath, "Luck be a lady tonight. Luck, luck, luck." And with that, she casts the Luck spell lasting 12 hours,
Oh.
which can be cast at 3 people at once. And within the duration, it allows each target to re-roll a check if they so need to.
I think that is technically a ritual, but we'll waive the hour.
Oh, perfect.
Because whatever.
You cast it while we were walking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But under her, she's like trying to be subtle about it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and near as they can tell, you're like humming to yourself or something weird, and they're just dismissive of it for the moment.
Don't worry about it. She's like that.
She's a minstrel. It's fine. So they drag you into this room in the back that is set with benches and things to sit on, and that's pretty much about it.
Oh, you have
And-
benches too. We have a lot of
Sage just
benches.
gives a loud
These
snort at
are
that.
great benches.
We have a lot of benches back
really-
home.
They're decidedly well carved out of stone.
Oh,
Nice.
Kathira kind of has a little geeking out moment. She's like running up to it and like examining the engravings. Oh my gosh, these are some quality benches. I don't know if I can make these out of wood, but these are so amazing. Oh my gosh.
Sit down.
Sorry.
On the benches?
You can sit
Where
on
else
the
are we
floor
sitting?
if you want to.
Oh, okay. Tolly sits down on the
Galena
floor.
sits on the bench and bounces a little
I
bit.
was gonna say Sage sits on the floor too, just like leaning against the bed.
They're very comfy benches. You did a wonderful job.
Tolly will sneak a fist bump to Sage.
Also, who is minding your son right now?
Sage return.
Tolly is on
where
feeding the child duty because she's still just handing him food every once in a while.
It's real weird. He's not there.
Excuse?
You lost him somewhere between the entrance to the place and this room.
Um,
I hate to be difficult, but I
Sage just starts just nudging Tolly. Like,
I dropped something.
Stay where you are. We have questions.
It's my brother. I dropped my brother. My brother's missing.
Sage just grips her knee tightly.
Kathira just sinks into the bench.
And you hear the sharp, heavy clang of the door in the distance shut to this place. You might as well get comfortable. You're going to be here a while.
Sir, am I being detained?
Yes, yes, you are. What is your name? Where are you from?
My name's Tully. I'm from Gaia's Fall.
You. The elf. Where are you from?
Gaia's fault.
And your name?
You can call me Sage.
But is that your name?
As far as I can remember.
And the witch?
Oh, me? Oh, my name's Galena, and I'm from Gaia's Fall too.
And you? He looks very squarely at you, Kathira. Your name?
I'm Kathira, also from Gaia's Fall.
Wow, look at that. We're traveling together and we're from the same place.
Sure.
Is
We're
there
not
anyone else
lying.
with your party?
Well, his brother that she dropped.
Yeah, my brother.
And he kind of takes
Misty.
a moment to...
You see Sage shake a little.
Look, it was our grandmother's name, and our grandmother was very important to our parents, so...
I don't care. Was there anyone else with your party?
Other than Misty, no?
Nope, just us.
You don't... No one else.
No?
Is 5 like an unlucky number or something?
No, it's just your timing is a little bit suspect.
Well, you just appeared, like, just yesterday.
Yeah,
Out of
tell us a
basically
little bit
nowhere.
about that.
Well, yesterday we were walking through the desert, and there wasn't a town here. And then we stopped for lunch, and when we were done, there was a town. And there was a bunch of rumbling and shaking, and it was kind of spooky.
And as you say rumbling and shaking,
Mm-hmm.
there is rumbling and shaking under your very feet in this whole place.
Yeah, like that.
It's faint, but it's enough to kind of briefly set you off your balance, and he just sort of puts a hand on the wall and seems to stand steady.
Sure you don't want to take a sit on the floor?
Or this bench?
It's a good floor.
Well, you all might as well make yourselves comfortable. You're going to be here for the rest of the night.
We're telling
make
the
a report.
truth.
Why?
Why won't you
I have
leave
to
us?
make a report to the counselor, and if you don't sit down and stay quiet, you will be in a cell instead.
We can't stay here for the rest of the night. We came here
You
to
can
be
if I have anything to say about it. And he turns and shuts the door, and you hear the bolt throw.
I'm gonna
very
I'm gonna-
rude here.
blow up that door.
They're just on edge. The war
Just-
took a toll on everyone.
I'm sure. But we were telling the truth. How do we get them to see that? More
It's
importantly,
hard.
Mistral?
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
find it.
Dolly?
You hear a small voice behind you.
Misty, my brother, where are you?
And you see, you feel a chill, damp sort of breeze, and then he reappears, reforming out of mist.
That is fantastic.
I didn't want them to recognize me or something.
Why? Oh.
That is smart.
Coolest brother.
I could, if we wait a little while, I could try to get out and get a key.
That would be super helpful. That's probably a lot better than my blowing up the door.
I just. If we break out now, we are going to be considered criminals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a crime to leave a room that you were put in for bad reasons.
It's true. I just wanted to see.
They're not going to see it that way.
Well, that's their fault.
He's simply following the protocol of the city.
Well, his protocol is stupid,
He didn't put it in place.
but he's following it.
Do you want me to follow them?
It's life of a soldier.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'll go watch them and see what happens, and I'll come back and let you know. Okay.
Just be careful.
Be
Yeah, be
safe.
I'll be okay.
Oh, Sage will reach out and hand over her lucky travel charm. May this bring you fortune.
And may
What's
this be
this?
tasty. Until he hands him a ration and ruffles his hair.
Uncle.
It's just something I carry for good luck. I hope safe travels. I hope it brings you the same.
Thanks.
He'll tuck it carefully into his robe.
Is it?
I'll be back soon. I promise.
Okay. Your safety comes first, though.
Uh-huh.
And you see him just sort of dissolve into mist, and there's no trace of him.
Immediately turns to Kathira. That boy is a bottomless pit. It's amazing.
Sage will
I've given him
chuckle
like
at
half
that.
of my rations, and he doesn't slow down.
He's growing.
Oh, I was gonna
Oh,
say I've
yeah,
seen that
but-
in prisoners sometimes.
What?
No, nothing. No, he's just growing.
So, you all hear some activity outside the doors periodically, the murmur of guards and things, but it's sort of indistinct unless you really, if anyone wants to definitely listen in, you can, and I'll have you make a check to see if you pick up any conversation. But if you're just chilling in the cell and not paying attention, it's just
Okay, Sage will try to eavesdrop.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tolly is definitely
What am I
not just
rolling? How do I
chilling.
roll it?
I remember you can re-roll a check because of my magic skill.
Mhm.
And we have the fumble points, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
okay.
can spend those.
I have one.
So for your checks, you can make a perception check to determine if you hear anything interesting.
Let me find this on this list. Okay.
It's on the right in the middle. Dex int. And Shapow!
Shabow! Okay,
Better
pretty
than me, that's
good.
for sure.
As good as a pro right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys do. You pick up a little bit of conversation between the guards. Saying like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was another kid with them, but I don't know what happened to him. And that girl, the dancer, looks a lot like that guy we've been getting reports about wandering around the town. Something's weird. And that's most of what you pick up.
Tali's just staring at Kathira from where she's like,
What are they
At a
saying? What are
window
they
listening.
saying?
she's just like staring at you. They say you look a lot like a guy that is
Thanks.
no,
the same
no, like
thing
a
Minstrel told us.
like a specific
Minstrel.
guy.
Freezing.
Even Mistral said so.
So that would mean that the guy would be the same person who took the stone from the cave, right?
Unless you passed it on to someone else already. Who knows?
Yeah. And if what they're saying is true, he might be my twin brother.
What?
Yeah.
Are you on good terms? That
We-
that was rude of me to ask.
No, it's okay, Sage. No, we were, as far as I can remember, we parted ways just before the war. I'm not sure what happened to him when I left town to fight.
Maybe he got in with the wrong people.
War changes people too. You mustn't hold yourself accountable.
I guess.
Does he also make benches? If he's turned evil, maybe we can use that as like a point of common interest and
You know, I learned all of my carpentry skills from Sauron. So,
perfect. Okay, well, if it is your twin brother and you do have an evil twin, then we'll appeal to his craftsmanship or something.
Maybe we could just remind him of the past. I mean, does this sound like something that he would have done before?
no. I mean, I don't know. I left. I left all my family, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say what happens after that.
We have to get out and find him. Because
Yeah.
if he's getting in trouble because of something else instead of just himself, then we have to get to him before somebody else who's mad at him gets to him.
I've got it. I think Tully gets that like cat face. just bangs on the door. Hey, we know about your problem, your evil whatever situation. We can help. We've got it.
You
Sage lakes you back from the door.
you see there's like there's a slot on the door that opens up and you see a pair of angry green eyes. Pipe down in there.
We're sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm blowing up the door.
Tilly, I think
We have to wait for Mistral.
wait for Mistral.
Yes. Please.
Do you see like the half-formed shape of a sigil over one hand? It just sort of fades.
Good.
Fine.
And not too long later, you hear a bit of commotion outside, and then the door starts to open and swings open, and the guard steps aside. There's someone here to see you. Come on out.
All of us?
If you all want to stay in there, you can.
No.
No,
We're
fine.
we're good. Yep.
Everybody got
Okay.
their things?
Yes.
Check under the benches.
Check all my pockets.
I'm sorry, are you in a hurry? I
We're
didn't
set
think
now.
so. Okay, everybody got their
Okay.
stuff? Let's go.
Thanks.
So you step out of the cell
Thank you for
beyond
that.
this decidedly annoyed as hell guard.
And
And
he
you
brought this
see-
on himself.
Yeah.
Sage just slips him like a gold piece.
Don't encourage his behavior. He's complicit.
he takes it, but he doesn't say anything.
Wasn't expecting him to.
And as you step out into the main foyer of this place, this headquarters, you see Mistral, and beside him is a figure that's a little bit taller than he is, fairly well stooped with age, a woman with horns that sort of curl quite a ways. Again, she old, long tangled white hair, and her eyes are sort of milky looking, but she looks very sharply at all of you. Well, your friend met with me and explained your situation. I am Councillor Gora, one of the leaders of Galesong. Tell me, you are all from the forest called Gaia's Fall, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
What is your purpose here?
We're trying to fix everything, I guess. That some bad stuff happened and then the world was... We have a map. I'm not doing a good job of this. She just turns back to the party.
Show me this map of yours, if you would, dear. And she gestures to the table nearby, and
She like looks at the
the-
others like...
yeah, the
do-
guards
Sage
kind of
nods to go ahead.
the guards kind of look a little confused, and she's like, rams her cane on the ground. Go on, clear off a space. And they hurry up and basically like empty the table.
Tully
I
comes
look
over-
at the rest of the party and I'm like, I think she's okay.
Tully comes
Well,
over
situations
pulling
are
this
gonna get any
huge
better.
stone map out. It's like, I like you. Puts it on the table.
Oh my. Why, yes, this is indeed a Dragonstone map.
What?
It's an old
No.
relic. They're parts of Gaia's works. Haven't seen one in a long time.
We're trying to make it more glowy. We think that makes things better.
So you're light seekers then? Just as I expected.
Turns back to the group. That sounds awesome.
Sage just gives a small, slow little thumbs up.
Yes.
Well, that is good news. And it certainly explains a thing or two about your... She kind of looks at each of you, then like her eyes sort of go not very subtly to Sage's elven ears. And she looks down to Mistral. Eclectic makeup. You are chosen by Gaia to ensure that our world remains safe and strong. That is not an inconsiderable task, all things being what they are.
Could you give me just a second? Tully like steps back to the others. That sounds like a really big deal.
Just a little. Don't let it get to your head.
I think that's what the dreams are about, Tully. I think it was already a big deal.
So it's true then that Gaia speaks to you when you sleep.
Wow, you have great hearing
That
for your
you
age.
too.
I-
Yes. Kathira kind of nudges Tali with her elbow. Yes, we have these dreams.
Well, you are honest, I grant you that. She chuckles and looks at Tali. I may be old, but I'm not as faded as my appearance would have you believe. I once heard those dreams as well.
So
Really?
this has happened
Sage's
before?
eyes widen.
Everybody talked at once. What happened?
Everyone's very surprised.
Really? Gas, etc.
Gasp, etc. Well, once you get to be a certain age, it's a little bit difficult to keep up the work, as it were. So I became custodian and keeper of this place.
What is this place?
You're in the town of Galesong, or at least the memory of it.
Memory?
Indeed. Surely you've been out in the world and you've seen the state it's in, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but there wasn't a lot of information to glean from that other than this.
Well. And she kind of glances at the guards who are just sort of standing at attention and trying to not look like they're really curiously eavesdropping. Come with me. You can stay in my place tonight. You too. And she gives a nudge at Mistral. Yes, of course.
Yeah, come on, bro.
He just kind of looks confused, but then smiles a little.
Hand him another ration.
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, he's not going to be able to change into mist form, I think, if you keep feeding him all this dense ration.
Yeah, this is gonna be a vaguely bready smelling mist.
It's just gonna be fog. Just thick fog.
He will become a bread dragon.
Oh, that's really cute, though. Oh, croissant dragon.
Yeah, and as you exit this place, you notice that the day has worn on. It's going on to evening by this point. After all the rigmarole you've dealt with the guards, the day has been fairly well wasted by that. And you make your way up near the top of the mountain to what seems to be potentially Gora's home, and also has there's a sense of a temple in this place. It's fairly open, but she has a small anteroom to the side where seems to be her living quarters. And you see crystals decorating this place that seem like they're just jutting where they please out of the structure. It's as if they created the pillars and carved things out of this place and let the actual crystals grow as they pleased. As Chat ponders the flight velocity of an unleavened bread dragon. Those important questions. Surely we will find an answer.
Science.
Science. And she bids you to sit down in the open chamber and brings you tea and some food for the evening. Nothing fancy, it's just kind of a pleasantly seasoned porridge. So, as to your being light seekers and the state of this place, a long time ago, when things got to be at their worst, Gaia was in danger of dying. But I imagine you might be aware of that much at least. You all look fairly young.
Yes.
Yeah.
In order to put a stop to that, she sealed everything away to give her body time to heal.
When you
Most
say
of us-
everything, you mean like the whole world?
Every town, every creature, every single place.
Everywhere?
Everywhere has existed in a stasis.
So the war
This
isn't
boy
over.
here tells me that you summoned ours out of its sleep from a dragon flute. Much is the same with every other place. You'll find some relic or artifact that contains the memories, and you can awaken them that way.
If this place just woke up, how are you aware of this knowledge?
I've been receiving the dreams and visions all this time, while we have been frozen in this perpetual loop, if you will.
Well, so it's like a long nap for you.
Something like that.
Did anyone else have these dreams and visions? Or are you the only one?
Not in this town. There may be others. Other past folk like myself who may have been receiving dreams, but we don't communicate with the other places at this point. Near as I know, we might be the first awake, but I cannot guarantee that. And you, my dear. She looks at you, Kathira. The guards are a little bit on edge because it seems someone who is awfully similar to your own appearance has been seen around the town. Do you know anything about that?
Honestly,
she gets that all the time.
Yeah, I kind of get that a lot. No, I before we all started this journey before the war, I have a twin brother, but I don't know what befell of him. I left town to fight in the war.
Well, if he was somewhere else, it's entirely possible that the place he was in may have awakened. Do you know anything that might be of use? Anything we ought to know about this man?
Well, he pretty good at carpentry. Okay. No, he was actually incredibly gifted with, but you know, my magic kind of outsurpassed his. There might have been some jealousy there. I don't know. I was whisked away to fight, and he might have resented that. We used to do everything together.
Interesting. Well, I have safely ascertained that you are not involved nor connected in any way beyond perhaps the familial resemblance. But I would say be careful. I shall make sure that the guards are aware you have no crimes to your name. You'll have to forgive everyone here. They're rather suspicious of humans and anyone that is not of our ilk.
Ma'am,
Thank you for your kindness.
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
You said this figure was doing upsetting things, and it doesn't sound like that was very much what he was like before. Do you know anything that we should keep an eye out for if it's the same person? I mean, could there be something like I don't know, a magic or a bad cold or anything that would sort of lead to that?
It's not impossible. There are shadows in this world of which we know very little. But of anything beyond that, I cannot say. Be vigilant, however. We will keep a heavy guard on the Crystal Watchtower here in hopes that we can stall him if he arrives, with means to take it. Your young friend here tells me that he did similarly from his home.
Yes.
Well, if we want to catch him, we should probably move fast.
That's true.
Yeah.
Of course.
We could always stick out the crystal.
If you are willing to lend your aid, I would not turn it away. But I will not require you to do such.
We were guided here for a reason. And this may be part of it.
And if it is my brother, I have to know.
Very well. I shall inform the guard captain that you are enlisted to his aid.
to be that way, could I'm just spitballing here, but I'm envisioning a more horizontal hierarchy.
Don't worry, dear. He's my son. I can tell him to behave himself.
Oh, he's lovely.
No, actually, he's terrible, but thank you for trying.
I didn't want to say anything, but I mean, someone needs to talk to him about concepts of moral responsibility.
Tully.
Well, you all have yourselves your dinner and get a little bit of rest, and then I will ensure that you are put on task at the watchtower in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And she gives a little ruffle on the head to Mistral as she dumps away to her room.
I'm glad I found her.
We all are.
Mistral, you're wonderful.
Mistral,
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Well, it took a while, but she seemed like she was in charge.
Works for me.
That was a good call. I tried banging on the door and yelling at them that we could help them, and that didn't work.
You almost cast a spell.
Well,
Were you gonna blow up the door, Tally?
it was just a door. Go get a new one.
Sorry I took so long.
Oh,
It's
you're
okay.
fine.
Tully needs to learn some patience.
Yes.
I'm plenty patient. I'll be patient when I want to be.
Are
That's
you
not how
gonna do that?
patience works, Tolly.
Well, fine.
Tally, are you done eating?
He says, looking at your porridge.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Just like
Don't
hands it to
encourage
him
this behavior.
and watches.
Y'all, he's a dragon.
I hope we wake up in the morning and Mistral is like a foot taller.
He's just got his head in Tully's backpack, pulls it out, ration half out of the mouth. What? No, I wasn't in it.
Feed your son. He hasn't eaten in 900 years.
Oh no.
I had a feeling.
We're pretty much at the top of the hour. Do you want to go to a break here?
We'll cut to a break as you all go to
Okay.
bed for the night.
So, as we go to sleep and overfeed our dragon son, we are going to step away for about 10 minutes, and when we return, we will see if we can defend this town from Cathira's brother. See you soon. Fuck it, we're live. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome
So-
back to-
I think we just flipped the language switch. We went into the settings and we changed it to Japanese on it.
Yeah.
Hi. So this.
I was singing from the Prince of Tennis musical. There's this one Prince of Tennis character whose brother's on the opposing team, and as they're playing tennis, he's like Aniki ga Nanda, and it's like so dramatic while they're playing tennis.
Oh god.
Talia's
I've
Japanese
been-
voice actor is way different.
Like flop.
Is she played in Japanese by like Koyasu Takehito or something?
Shit.
Anyway,
So
sorry, guys.
anyway.
Sorry.
Yep, I definitely understand the musical shit though. I've been mainlining the Hakuoki musical, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get back to the game.
Back to the game.
Okay, back to English.
All right. Okay.
Brother.
All right. So, you have gone to sleeps, done a sleep. It sounds like Tali is taking charge of Dragon Son, so he probably goes and snugs against you again for the night.
Tali loves it.
You may be missing another ration in the morning
That's fine.
if he got hungry.
She's counting.
You brush off some crumbs when you wake up.
Interesting. One more.
And yeah, you wake as the sun pours in through these the windows are sort of just open and hollowed out, but they're fairly high set so that the rooms aren't completely bathed in light. You don't have it like shining on your face. But you awake, and there is the pleasant smell of more of that porridge. It's a little more cinnamon spiced this time, kind of sweet. And there's food waiting out there for you. And Gora is tending up at the shrine part of this open hall. There's kind of a shrine area where there's a flame that's kept. You see her kind of stoking it and working slowly but diligently. Good morning. Did you all sleep well?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
You have a pleasant place.
Much better than the tent. No offense to the tent, but
It's okay, we tried, but it can't beat a warm home.
Of course. Well, I have spoken with my son, and he has agreed to allow you to supervise the Crystal Watchtower today.
Thank you.
How kind of him.
He'll be waiting to meet you up there after you've had your breakfast.
sounds good.
You all look so excited.
Tolly just nods.
I just pat Tully's hand. You're doing so well.
Thanks, I'm trying.
So yeah, you have your breakfast. Mistral has about 3 bowls of porridge.
Yeah, Tolly goes some like half of hers.
3.5 bowls of porridge.
Should we roll condition?
Yes, roll your condition checks and go ahead and add a +1 on there because that food is pretty tasty.
That's some
Oh, where is that on my character sheet?
good-ass porridge.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
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 Hey!
I mean, in Kathira's defense, she might be a little worried, right? So perhaps her
Mm.
condition isn't the best.
Yeah. Yeah, how is Kathira feeling?
She's
This
a little
morning.
nervous this morning. She's a little nervous this morning. She knows what she needs to do and needs to face it head on, but she's nervous that it actually is her brother and what possibly could have happened.
I'm sure it's fine.
Boost my int. I am a very smart girl today.
Yay. Yeah, if any of you got over 10, you get to boost 1 stat. Looks like maybe it was just Tali that did.
Tolly's feeling
Uh,
great. She slept like a baby.
So, you make your way to the Crystal Watchtower that is at the pinnacle of town. And you see a guard there stationed waiting for you. It is not any of the guards you met earlier, near as you can tell, but this one definitely has slightly fancier armor. Oh, you must be the people.
Yes,
That's
we're
us.
the people.
For the
All
village.
right, well. Right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You got names? She didn't mention anything to me.
Galena will brightly stride forward and be like, "My name's Galena. What was your name?"
Garrus. Captain Garrus is my name.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. He kind of gives a stiff bow. And the rest of you?
Tolly.
Kathira.
Sage.
Misty.
His brother.
Right.
Her brother.
It's because I'm looking at your face.
Stop it! Stop looking at me.
You need to
I
need a
a
Tully
little,
mask.
like, mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just put Tolly up when I'm talking.
That wouldn't be spooky at all.
He is the brother of Tali.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yes. Right. So, and you've obviously met the counselor, my mother, Gora.
She's lovely.
She is lovely.
She's an incredible woman.
She's got
Yeah.
great hearing.
Yeah. Well, this is the Watchtower. If you suspect anyone is liable to show up, the bell to summon the rest of the guard is right over there. Don't try to handle anything on your own.
Of course not.
We would never.
We all just have our fingers crossed behind our backs.
Yeah, Kathira kind of hides her chakra a little bit behind her. Yep. All good.
Look, in all honesty, I'm not a fan of letting outsiders handle this, but she's insistent, and I trust her when she says that this is Gaia's will. So just be safe, all right?
You as well.
We'll try.
I'll be just down at the bottom of the entryway if you happen to need anything.
Thank you.
My brother's very hungry. If you have any snacks.
Mistral just smiles as he looks at the guard.
Talia smiles with him.
He tosses him, looks like some sort of root vegetable that is
Yes.
partially wrapped.
Talia writes that down.
And Garrus goes on his way. The day is fairly uneventful. The Crystal Watchtower, such as it's called, is actually a large crystal that is sort of surrounded by what appears to be like ceremonial wrapping of a gate of some kind. And you notice that it's positioned in such a way that if the sunlight falls to a given point on the horizon, it probably catches and throws the light through this crystal. It's not quite there yet. The sun is just a titch too high to be able to reflect off. But you see little bits of the light kind of golden and glimmering along the floor, the ground. The floor, the ground. Oh god, I did that.
Jess,
I've been playing.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I fucking have been playing Hakuoki way too much. I have been ruined.
Fucking press F to pay respects. We have
Drag
seen
me.
Our colleague has fallen.
First Twitter's new UI, now this.
Truly the end times.
So, meanwhile, in this world, it is not yet the end times. It's technically slightly past.
Yeah.
You've gone slightly beyond the end times, but we're working on fixing that. And everything seems to be fairly normal. You hear distantly the people are singing these jaunty sort of work songs. It's a little indistinct, and some of them you can't even quite tell the language that they're singing. You assume it's an Azoran tongue of some kind. And you just hear the steady rhythm of the town going about its business through the day. And the crystal does start to shimmer ever so slightly. Is there anything you want to do while you're keeping watch?
Well, I'm sure Sage is either going to try to find a spot that's like slightly hidden or establish some sort of patrol routine. I don't know if the others would go along with it, but she'll at least do it for herself.
Yeah, what's your plan here as you stand?
I'm trying to think because a watch pot doesn't boil, but you kind of have to watch the pot before it boils. So I'm trying to think, like, maybe there's like some like military stakeout plan that she's or protocol she's followed before, and she'll try to.
Does she start like planning for everybody and just be like, okay, you Telly are stationed there, you Kathira, you're stationed there?
That's if you. I mean, she's not going to force them to do it if they don't want to, but she'll try to present this plan. Like, I think it'd be a good idea if we organize ourselves in this way, so there's always overlap, that we don't have a blind spot.
Tolly's already gone.
I absolutely think that Galena listens to this plan and is like really good about it and has her broom out and like walks back and forth and then like exactly once and then hears the music and does like a little country line step one way with a spin and like spins the broom and then starts singing the song and skipping and she like sweeps some things.
Tolly's gonna perch up in a tree somewhere where she can like see the area, but be sort of removed, and sit there, like idly feeding Mr. Hall, while she's looking around for anything that might happen, and explaining the rules of the role-playing game that we were playing back in Gaia's Fall to him.
Oh boy.
my gosh.
Okay. He seems really interested. Go ahead.
I think Sage's change of plan when that doesn't go, that fails horribly. She was kind of expecting that, but it's still a little disappointing. Her plan's going to be to like try to observe the crystal tower, see how the device is put in there, how it might be removed, is it growing from like the earth kind of deal, like try to predict what a person might do to try to sabotage this.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Okay.
That'll tell me how much you learn.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. So a 10.
Oh, nice.
Good as a pro.
Yes.
So you've seen devices like these before. Possibly your homeland may have had one. And you saw the one also in the War Machine, although that was clearly a very manufactured facsimile of one. And these are essentially these crystals are used to draw out the power of Gaia's inherent essence and feed it back to the area. That's used to kind of power the place and keep things safe and clean in these towns and these settlements. And this one seems to be running pretty much as normal. It is set neatly in its pillar. It seems to hover ever so slightly above it, as the inherent magic allows it to do. There's a gentle thrum of power that you feel more than you hear. It's just that energy in the air the closer you get to it. It's large, so it's a little challenging to imagine someone just walking off with it.
Not for
They're
a
not
lack
gonna-
of trying.
Yeah, they're not gonna pick it up and walk away with it. This is sizable. It's probably a good, 6 feet tall,
Okay.
maybe like 2 to 3 feet around. It's big ol' rock.
Okay.
But that's what you see. Is anyone else looking or investigating anything here, or?
Kathira's kind of standing anxiously, not doing anything, just standing anxiously.
Oh no.
It looks like Kathira's doing just fine.
Oh, Kathira, I wanted to ask you, Sage walks over. Do you know the same did you and your brother study the same magics?
He couldn't use the magic that I could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he picked up the sword and shield, and. But we used to always spar together, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
the
he's
day
meeting
goes
up
on. Sorry, go ahead.
I hope he isn't meeting up with company. I think they'll need someone who knows magic to move that rock, if that is their target.
Yeah.
And by, the day goes on uneventfully. Once you have a bit of a start where there's a rumble, much like there was before. Garrus comes up to check on all of you after that, and he briefly mentions that it's just they've been having these small earthquakes a lot lately, and
Same.
Same though.
Same. No, we had like 7 the other day. Fine.
Oh God. No big. It's fine. And as you're all standing up there talking, you feel another potent rumble strike. This one is such that it knocks all of you clear off your feet, however. And there's the sounds of chaos and emergency going on down below. And you can kind of see flickering fire.
Oh no.
Down
no.
below, and Garrus kind of gestures for all of you and says, "It's coming from the temple, come on!" And down he goes.
But
Kathira clutches her hidden chakras and pulls them out. Let's go.
this
That's
is a
the
perfect
crystal.
opportunity for attack.
If
Can
people
we
are in danger, we have to help them.
Can we see the temple from up here?
There'll be even more danger if this crystal is taken.
Could I stay up here and shoot down?
It's probably a little too far away to make a shot. Or at least you wouldn't be able to do anything if something's going on inside the temple. You can see the doors.
Right.
So what would you all like to do?
Kathira wants to run forward to the temple. She crazy.
All right, so Kathira, you start running. As you're all sort of hemming and hawing, and Tali, I think Mistral sort of sees you kind of like mentally calculating this distance, and he puts a hand on your arm and says,
I'll stay here. You go with them.
We can't leave you by yourself.
I can protect it.
We do not know what forces we're dealing with.
I'll be fine.
We'll go if you
If
ring
it-
the bell. Ring in the bell. Okay? If anything happens.
I will.
Okay.
Promise? Okay.
Of course.
Polly's already going.
Okay. I'll follow.
Sage, with like one last glance back, ends up following the rest of the group.
"Okay,
I would like to cast a spell on myself before I
what you got?"
get there. I would like to cast Enhanced Red Hand.
Okay,
Mm.
do your badass magic.
Schema der Statenhund. And roll a magic check and hope I don't fumble. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Magic check. Not a fumble.
Woo!
Yay!
All right, so yeah, you get. That's a +2.
+1 to
your-
accuracy checks.
+1 to
for
accuracy,
6
yes.
rounds of combat.
Yes.
And again, the like geometric design works up her bow arm.
Sweet. I always get the boost on that one mixed up with Ice Sword, which is a damage
Yeah.
boost. All right, so you hurry down the passageway away from the Crystal Watchtower and make your way to the temple. And inside, you see Gora has been knocked down aside up at the dais area, and Garrus, who was well ahead of you, is squaring off with a figure who is definitely familiar to you, Kathira, although it's been a damn long time.
Sure has.
And you watch in moments as he casts his staff, and tendrils of energy just spring up underneath Garrus's feet and fling him against a pillar, knocking him cold.
Garrus!
I think
Kathira
Sage,
kinda
in
runs
a
forward.
moment of confusion, just goes, Morrigan? And then just shouts, Where is my mother? And like, in a moment losing herself, just takes her sword and starts running toward the figure.
Okay. Are you making an attack?
I think she catches herself halfway, like, wait, this isn't the same person.
Okay.
But now she's in this awkward position where she's in front of the rest of the party and is...
Okay. Yeah, so you are halfway between your group and this other figure that is up near the dais and has doused the flame that is there with a wave of his hand. And he turns and seems to only just now notice all of you. Stray guards. If it's a fight you want, I'm happy to give it to you. He stands squarely with his staff as he looks all of you over and then sees you, Kathira, and looks vaguely surprised. Well, this is unexpected.
Sauron, is that you?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Kathira.
Kathira kind of loosens her grip on her chakras because she came barreling in, holding them rather tightly. What are you doing here?
Taking something I need to complete a task. You don't need to get yourself involved. He turns and simply goes to the dais where the flame was, and you can see a crystal rising up out of it.
No, Sauron, wait!
Now. Tali's got her bow ready.
Do you have any idea what happens when you're taking these crystals?
I know exactly what happens, and I don't care. It's just as much as anyone deserves. You should find a safe place to go, and stay there.
No, I'm
This
not
was
leaving
safe.
without you.
What did you say, Sage?
This was safe.
They don't deserve the safety that they've taken from others.
Look, just put the crystal back and put the tendrils away, and we don't have to hurt you.
Well, you're welcome to try. But I'm in a bit of a hurry. Now, since you seem to be friends with my sister, I'll let you go if you let me pass.
Kathira, benches. Benches, Kathira.
Oh no.
Sauron, what happened? What? I don't understand. We were
You
just
know-
building benches together last we saw each other.
Do you know what these people have done? Do you have any idea? The amount of death that they've visited on others?
I mean, it
You
was-
were taken off to fight in the war. You left me behind.
I left you behind to protect you guys.
Well, everybody's gone now. So thanks for that.
Look,
Jinx!
In stereo. Look!
Ah, I love this party that just wants to have a conversation.
The war is over. And sowing chaos to start it again is not going to make anything better.
Sowing chaos. No, I'm just trying to clean up the mess that was left behind. And take back what was taken from me.
By ridding others from what they have? A chance for a future?
They don't deserve what they have. Now, if you're not going to get out of my way, I will make you move. And he levels the staff, the head of which you can see is swirling with an energy that is just unsettling to look at. You don't know what it is other than magic, but it does not feel right.
I'm
Who gave you those powers?
That's not important, and it's none of your business. Get out of my way.
No. I was always the stubborn twin. She's holding her chakras up.
You don't want to fight us.
You're right. I don't want to hurt my sister, but if I must...
You don't have to.
What you're trying to achieve that is worth that. It sounds to me you're only adding more sacrifices to the count.
Someone I care for very much is dead because of all of this. Foolish fight.
We all have lost ones. We have all lost loved ones to this conflict.
Well, what I have lost I intend to regain.
You can't bring the dead back.
I beg to differ.
They won't be as you remember. That's
We'll
how
see
it goes in
about
all the
that.
tales.
Well, stories are stories. I intend to see for myself. Now then, you have one last chance to move, or I will get you out of my way by force.
Sauron, please, we finally found each other after all this time. The fact that we're both still here. We can start anew together.
Tali puts the bow away. Fine.
There you see, someone with sense.
If you think what you're doing, all the people that you're hurting, is worth what little pain you'll save yourself, then I get it. I get it. I disagree. I think you're wrong. I think you're gonna understand that, but after it's too late for you to turn it back.
Are you quite finished?
I want to cast a spell on him.
Okay.
Oh! Sneaky! Oh!
Where is it? There we go. And Talia says, "My sadness belongs only to me, but I hear yours as well. It's okay to feel that heartache." And I'm casting Ultimate Tears.
Okay.
Talia's got
What?
one move,
Oh no.
and it's a good one. Don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. I'm gonna spend a fumble point.
Okay.
You get a +1. And I'm gonna... Can I afford to spend half my MP? Sure.
You just want to make him cry?
No.
I do. I really want to make him cry. I'm
Okay.
going down to 6 MP,
Okay.
and I'm
No.
casting this magic check.
Oh.
Do I want to re-roll it? Can I get... I can't get a whole lot better than that. I think
Is
I'm
that a is it meet or beat?
It's
I think
I think it's meter beat.
Okay.
It meets it beats it. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it at the 11. And
Okay.
pray.
Okay. By the by, Kathira, what color do you remember your brother's eyes being?
His eyes were dark brown, just like hers.
Okay. They are decidedly not that color anymore. They are a very brilliant blue.
Oh.
Pretty cold, except they are a little bit glittery right now with tears. But his face is as stony as it has been the entire time.
Cry, motherfucker.
Oh. It's a charming little trick you have. And I've got one too. And you see the energy around the staff darken a bit, and he whispers words that seem to echo unnaturally around. "The abyss in your heart betrays you." And we'll see if this does a thing, Tali.
Is he gonna cast Ultimate Tears back at me?
No, actually, I
Okay.
need you to roll Spirit.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh
We got saving throws now. Alright, Spirit's a good one for me.
no.
Let's see. Spirit, and roll. 10.
Okay. Nice. You barely make it, so I am going to say that you get very briefly a flash of a memory that you do not want. Something you thought you put away. What might that be?
I think we see a brief flash of Tali in like a hilly, dirt and blood-strewn landscape. The sky is red. We hear shouts, and underneath her boot is an unarmed soldier who's trembling at the point of her arrow.
Okay. You succeeded, which means you will not take the shock or the damage that this inflicts. However, you got just enough of that flicker of a memory, but you shake it off. You won't let it interrupt you. Oh, you're of sterner stuff than I would have imagined. Now, I'm done here. He's just gonna try to walk on past you.
I'm gonna walk up to him and try and take the crystal off of him.
Okay.
Yeah, does he have the crystal in his hand by this point?
He has
He like slipped it into his coat, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
stowed it into his coat.
So you're gonna try to like, oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up. It's my turn with the remote now. Gimme.
You're gonna just like dig your hand into his jacket? Okay.
100%.
All right. I think that being the case, we are going to move forward to Phytons, because
Okay.
if he can't walk past you, he's done.
Right.
So when you try to do that, go ahead and roll. Make an accuracy check, I guess, for me.
Oh, I'm good at that right now. Okay. So Dex Ent is
Can I-
fine.
Is there an advantage thing? Can I give advantage by like stepping forward and trying to be distracting?
I don't know what. I guess you if you want to do an accuracy check to get in his way to intercede, sure. And if you succeed versus his initiative, we'll call that good, and you have helped, and then you'll get a +1.
+1.
Okay. Not good.
Nope.
Not so much.
Nope.
Oh,
You start to step in front of him, and he just shoves you aside, and he's stronger than the mage aesthetic would lead you to believe.
Okay.
You could re-roll if you wanted, if that's because we have the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The reroll
But
still?
you can also hang.
Yeah.
I mean, those stats for that roll are not great for me,
Okay. I will just roll.
admittedly.
10.
Okay. All right. Describe this. What do you
So,
do
Tali
as
is
he
just like
pushes Galena out of his way,
Yeah, it's-
really rather roughly.
he's pushing her to the side, and his arm is outstretched, and Tali just like walks up to him, furious,
Oh.
and just reaches straight into his jacket, and pulls it out, and like holds it away from him.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do
Don't
it.
even try to hide it in a pocket. Oh.
So that
Oh.
you see his face just contort in rage, and now it's time to roll some initiative.
Yeah.
I gave you a chance.
Oh.
This is over. I will take that from your cold dead body if I must.
Oh.
I mean, good luck.
Initiative. Where is that even on my sheet? There we go.
Eat it. Eat it,
Alright,
grumpy
we're
boy.
we are officially on the battle map now.
Okay.
Holy. Okay, I gotta see the boy.
Transition
Oh,
is
that's
over.
the boy.
That's the boy.
Oh, he mad.
He a mad boy.
Sauron, please listen to us.
Are we still? Oh no.
Oh no.
Alright, okay. Do we need objects?
We need objects. Inside this her temple.
I'm
I'm gonna move your son off the map for now.
Okay.
A fallen lamp.
Okay.
A burning stick.
Okay. Okay. Catherine?
A
Oh, right, I
fallen
forgot.
lamp. We're in a temple.
We already have a fallen
yeah.
lamp.
Oh, we do? Oh, just kidding. Wait, where are the ones we don't have?
We have a fallen lamp, a burning stick. Anything else you can think of?
A book. An old tome.
Okay. Kirby?
I know that they use like crystals in some of their decoration. Will the temple have had crystals?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Crystal
I was thinking
shards.
like shattered crystal, yeah. As he busted into this place.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be the worst and just say Garrus's fallen body.
Oh my god!
I was hoping he was.
He's alive, I think.
Oh,
He's just unconscious.
It tracks.
Okay.
I mean, finale of a Ryutama show in a temple. It's
true.
tradition.
That is apparently just what happens. Okay, so rattle off your initiatives to me just so I don't have to keep listening
10.
to Lena.
I had
Thir-
10 as well.
10,
13.
13.
13.
And then 10 for Kathira and 10 for Sage.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need no question marks. We know who the fuck he is. Alright. So, let me rearrange everybody here. Who has the higher condition out of you two?
Me.
Galena and Tally.
I have a 10.
Tally.
Yes.
And Sage and Kathira, what is your condition?
4.
Mine's, I think, 5.
Okay.
I have 5 down.
I. Oh, actually. Boop. Boop.
I did add myself
Oh,
a
boy.
light shield though, so I know that I get the shield dodge bonus to that. I think that is at 7.
The dodge bonus is
Oh,
a
attacks.
minimum.
Sorry. This was
Yeah.
for. I was jumping ahead. Sorry about that.
So we don't need to worry about that because you succeeded that.
All right. Whoops.
So, Tally, is everybody where they want to be?
Yep.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
on
map.
front line, so
Okay.
I mean, ideally, I would. Never mind.
Yeah, you know, Kathira is getting close and personal, even though she's ranged.
I would put myself in the back, but I just pulled this thing out of his coat, and so I'm
Okay.
keeping.
All right.
Oh gosh.
I think our homebrew movement rule is in effect here, if I recall correctly. So you can step to the back if you need to.
But
with,
we have to
a
like
roll.
make a dodge check or something.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, Tally, you're up first.
Okay, yeah, I would like to faint.
Okay.
For the first time on this channel's history, using something other than attack or cast a spell. I would like to faint, which is an accuracy check versus a condition, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And do I want to use my bow or my light blade? Gosh, I think if I use my light blade, technically I'm gonna lose HP because I'm not proficient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it anyway because I am not a smart man. But also because I have better stats for it. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll accuracy and hope I do well.
Okay.
Oh my god. I'm assuming that beats his. I'm assuming what is that, 21? No, 19? 19. Beats his condition.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I will take my 1 point of damage for using a weapon in that proficiency.
Okay.
But Tali just says, "You should watch your footing," and then like goes to sweep the leg, basically to drop his initiative down by 1.
Okay. Cool. That doesn't actually change the order at all.
But it does make him easier to hit.
Yeah.
Could I step back from there? Could I roll a dodge check?
Yeah. Roll a dodge check. He kind of has to duck to avoid, like, you see him regain his footing, but it does take him a moment.
A 9?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and you can move back.
Yes. And that is round 1.
All right. Galena, you're up.
I think I probably can't hit him with my stats, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to use a fumble point, if someone can tell me how to do that.
Subtract the fumble point from your thing, and then just add a 1 after
Yeah.
the stuff is rolled.
Just do a +1.
Okay. Do I get to add +2 because I'm technical?
Yeah. Do you for fumble points? I think it's just concentrating.
I think it's just concentration.
Okay. I'll just do the fumble for this time. I get an 8.
Not bad.
Does not hit, though.
It's not hit. Okay. So I think Galena just comes in, like, having seen Tilly do this, and she just, like, comes through and, like, swings with all of her might with this broom and just, like, whiffs him.
Yeah. I think you were actually not that far off, so I think it's more you get countered. He puts up his staff, and so you have a vaguely cool moment where you are both crossing pole arms, as it were.
Yeah.
But he ultimately pushes you back into line. And it seems vaguely surprised and impressed that you could do that with a broom. All right. It is his turn.
Oh, no.
Since so many of you delightful folks are in the front row,
Oh no.
He gets his pick.
no, he doesn't like to choose. He doesn't play favorites. So you see him raise his free hand, and going to do a little check.
Fumble, fumble, fumble.
Pardon me as I read this stuff I wrote very fucking quickly. Everybody's condition, if you please. Tali.
5.
4.
Okay, you were at the back actually, so
9.
5, 4, 9. Okay, everybody gets a taste of this.
Oh boy.
He holds up his hand and he says, "Shards of hatred and scorn, come forth! Crystallum ferrum!" And a triad of crystal jagged swords appears before him and shoots at all of you. Everybody takes 5 damage, and you all suffer 6 shock.
Okay.
You said
Ouch.
That's a
6
-1 to
shock.
all of your stats. If your
Yes.
condition is less
If
than
your
6.
condition is 6 or lower, you drop all of your stats by 1.
That's bad.
How's everybody doing?
How's our HP looking,
I mean,
friends?
I'm
I've
kind
got
of
9
hardy.
degrees.
I'm built like a tank.
Okay. All right. So, with that, it's Sage's turn.
Oh gosh. Well, I
Get the
imagine I'm
staff.
just gonna go. What?
Get the staff.
Ah. I guess. Well, I guess she would just try to like. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how Sage would do that. You know.
You don't
'Cause
got
I imagine
this,
she
just
would-
Tali.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a good thought. So I guess Sage would probably just try to like swing to disarm him. So I imagine that would just be an attack.
Yeah.
This might sound, I don't know why, but where's the accuracy check located at?
It's in inventory.
Yeah. Your weapons are in your
Inventory.
inventory, and that's where
Okay.
the accuracy and damage checks are.
Ah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
Does
Do I
not
get-
quite
Does not hit.
make it.
Ah,
Jesus,
darn it.
this boy's got some initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
You knocked him down by 1, and
Yeah. So he's
You
at
can-
Yeah.
11, I assume.
Or a 12 would be my, yeah, in there.
Alright. So that passes
So-
us to Kathira.
Kathira, what are you gonna do?
Kathira has a crazy idea inspired by Sage because she notices the staff is out of sorts. Sauron would never use a staff. But that's him. So she wants to try to disarm him from the staff. She wants to grab
Okay.
it. She wants to run up and grab it. She won't
Okay.
attack him. She doesn't want to use her chakras.
Okay.
Oh,
Um.
She wants to take it by the hands. Aniki!
Is there a grapple check in Rutala?
I mean, I think this will be a strength because you are literally trying to do a contest of strength against him to rip that staff out of his hands.
Okay.
So,
So that's going to be a
strength for you.
strength. Where is that?
I don't think there is one by default. You'll have to make one in the bottom of the chart
Yeah.
section.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
can make
thought I
one.
made one. Okay, so. Oh, see, I did make one. I'm a doof. Here I go. Here I go. Oh.
Ugh. Not great. Do you have a
Wait, don't I have luck still or no?
Yeah.
You cast it on what, 3 people though?
Yeah, I thought you cast it on
I
everyone.
cast it on my friends. Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
Rip.
Sorry.
So yeah, you go up and you try to rip this thing right out of his hands, which surprises him to be sure. But he has a pretty strong grip on it, and as you try to rip it away, he just there's a moment of like tug of war with it,
Hmm.
but ultimately he sort of just wins by shoving you back
Ah.
until your hands kind of come off of it. That energy felt real weird on that staff though.
Yeah.
Does it have like a crystal or something on the end of it?
It's got like a orb of some kind.
Guys, what if we attack the staff and not him?
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna do a heckin' shoot.
Okay.
So, which does not lose me HP, thankfully. All right. Accuracy. Pow. I'm going to re-roll that one. I'm just gonna
Okay.
re-roll.
Oh!
Yes!
Dope!
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That critical die.
That hits. I'm gonna say, yeah, with a critical, I'm gonna say you're aiming for the orb on the top of the staff.
Let's see. Come on, damage. Come on, don't screw me here.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah, so describe to me what it looks like as your arrow goes for this crystal at the top of his staff.
I think Tali is seeing her friends struggle with this guy as these like crystalline swords fly through the air. And she draws her bow and gets ready, and we see that flash again as she's like she's aiming at him. We see the flash of that memory again, the soldier unarmed on the battlefield, and then she moves slightly to the side and looses the arrow, and it strikes the crystal dead on.
Yeah. We sort of see it come in from the side and it just hits the crystal and just shatters.
Yes.
And there's this energy that was swirling inside that kept it alight, you see it sort of disperse, much like those tendrils that rose up out of the ground and knocked Garrus far away. And you just hear these unsettling cries and sounds whisking away until they vanish. And you see Soren tumble to the ground.
Kathira runs to him.
Looking as if it looks as if you kicked him in the lungs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kathira definitely runs to him. Soren,
Kathira.
Soren, is this really you? She kind of like cups his face.
He seems to be himself, if
What
injured.
color is it? Are his eyes blue still?
They seem to be brown again.
Oh,
What happened? Why are you here?
I that is a long story. What happened to you? I think that staff was possessing you.
He looks down to where it fell and takes it up. Like you said, it's a long story. And he dusts himself off and gets to his feet. He seems, for all intents and purposes, he seems otherwise fine, just a little confused.
Are you okay?
Well, I have a bit of a headache.
Galena, would you have something for that? You can whip up quick, or
I
Maybe you should look at
suppose.
Garrus
She looks at
first.
Garrus and she
Yeah.
looks at like the guy who just
Oh,
tried to kill her. I was like,
I
I
had forgot.
I feel like, and she's gonna look at Tully and do this
Yeah.
like eye motion, like don't take your eyes off this jerk, and
Yeah.
then go over and tend to Garrus.
You might not have been in your right mind. And Tully's not aiming at him anymore, but she does still have an arrow, like, on the bow.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably shouldn't stick around here.
I see.
I'll stay with him.
Well,
You
I
can
sh-
come back to Gaia's Falls with me. We can figure out what happened.
to where?
Long story. But I made a really great bench. She'd be so proud to see it.
I guess if you two want to go ahead, we can meet back up with you.
And
I
he
just
kind of
wanna-
glances around and realizes there are at least 2 bodies in the room. Oh God. Did I?
Galena looks up. You did.
I'm so sorry.
Come, we have a lot to discuss. Kathira kind
Yes.
of like puts her arm around him.
Yeah. And as you do that, he embraces you rather fiercely,
Mhm.
but briefly.
I know. Right?
Good strong hug. But a bit shaky. And you two step outside with Galena, you go to Garrus' side as he's ow.
Don't move. Sit. Stay. Don't move.
Yes, ma'am.
Things are okay. And
That stranger, where's my mother?
she's over there. I'll get to her next. Hold on.
I'll be fine. I can shake it off. I've had worse. You should check on her. She's old.
Okay. I think she's made of stouter stuff than you give her credit for. I basically hand him like a I
Like
don't
a
know.
cotton
But,
press or
I have one of those apples.
Yeah.
Apples.
him
So
the-
I give him one of the apples and go, at least eat this, and then I go check on Gora.
Yeah. She seems all right if injured, but not not beyond saving. She's just still unconscious.
Okay.
Looks like she took a pretty good blow. So you imagine she probably met the same fate that Garis had earlier.
Yeah. I'll do first aid on her.
Okay.
Nice.
Given we are really close to time,
Yeah.
nowhere near.
Yeah.
It's a little bit beyond time, in fact.
Yeah.
Part 2. Part 2.
We'll see.
I think we will kind of leave it there, with all
Okay.
of you cleaning up this little mess and a little mystery left on our hands. And if the scheduling gods permit,
Please.
Yeah, please chat,
I know,
pray.
right? Ah.
we will find a way to resolve this strange little tale. Because I don't think anybody's done playing with these children.
No.
They're all so good. They're all so
We're also leaving our poor dragon son all
Yeah,
alone.
hello?
Yeah,
He's like, I sure hope everyone's okay.
Yeah, I still don't know how much he can eat, so of course I'm not done. Until that mystery is solved. Look, we can go through an entire campaign, save the world, fix everything, and until I know how much that motherfucker can eat, I'm not done. I have a mission.
Ah.
Every
Lord.
character needs a purpose.
You know?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
You
The
know?
really important technique for me in doing role playing and being good at it is finding my motivation. Alright, let's go around and say who we are, where people can find us. Starting with our not evil twin, Catherine.
Hi guys. You can find me on Twitch. I have not been streaming a lot lately. My schedule has been a complete situation. Once D23 is over, life will go back to normal, I think. But I do stream on Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/Catherine Lynn. And that's where you can find me on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Kirby. I'm not really. This is one of my first times doing this, so I'm not super involved in the community, though I like to try to do some more things in the future. But you can find me at Twitter. That's where I mostly hang out. And my hashtag is at RedibsRambling. So, yeah.
Get this person on more shows. She's fun to play with. If you've got
That is
Thank
space and you need a
you.
person,
More games.
her Twitter's
Message
right there.
me.
Janaya.
Hello, my name is Janaya, and I make art and play good games with nice people. And you can find me on Twitter at Janaya. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Janaya. If you can figure out how to spell it, you can find me.
Look,
And this
if you can't spell Janaya, you're not playing enough D&D, because you should know how to spell
That's
Jen
true.
by now.
That is true. That is true. But this Wednesday, you can find me on Katie Faze's channel in the evening, being the Soul Master in a game of Sins of the Father, which is a game of demonic debt that I'm really getting excited about. It's going to be
of this game?
so spooky. Oh, it's so good, Jess. We'll talk. Man, it's
Adds
so
to
good.
the list.
And then next Saturday, I sadly won't be playing Ryutama again, but I will be back on Other Doc's channel playing more Invisible Sun.
Fantastic.
Yay.
And last but certainly not least,
Mhm.
the actor, the portrayer of two sweet dragon children in this game.
Two sweet dragon children and somebody's asshole brother.
We adopted all of them.
There's one in every family.
You say you have a twin, and I'm like, thank you.
I know. What have I done?
Yes.
What have I done?
Hopefully you liked him.
I love him.
Great. I'm Jess, Little Cup of Joe, literally everywhere on the internet that allows me to have a social media presence, probably. I do many things. I'm a voice actor, an artist, a designer, this stuff. Just
A
if there's
star.
something you like, I might have my fingers in that pie somehow. But you can find me on my own channel in like about an hour playing Ultimate games because that is what I do Saturday nights. We are about to kick off Nightshade. We're going to start a new route in that game. So if you love handsome ninjas and you want to romance them, you might want to go see that. Otherwise, I'll be back here tomorrow night playing in the Ryutama game that Dylan runs, playing my good tsundere ice prince, Mule, who is really sad right now, and I'm not mad about it. He's having a bad time.
Yeah.
But prior to that, if you want to see me play an actual villainess, go over to Pen Paper Pals, Jolie's channel, and we're playing some Burning Wheel. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing in that system, but I'm playing an evil lady.
I love it. It's certainly something.
It's something.
Having watched it. And for Hakuoki, if you don't like hot ninjas, one, what's wrong with you? Two, the opening to that game is the most hype opening to any game, not just any Otome game, but like any game that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, the Nightshade opening is a banger.
If you're not going to be asleep, swing by, hang out.
Yeah.
It's fun.
At least come in for the first 15 minutes so you can see the opening and then bounce. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm Dylan, aka Narcissus. You're on my channel already, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. You can also find me on Twitter and Itch.io, where you can buy a game that I made called Spoken Magic, which is a card prompt RPG. Or you can now buy. What?
The best game.
I don't know
it's
that.
It's a great game.
Thank you.
Just take the compliment,
I'll take
Dylan.
the compliment. Thank you. It is per at least one reviewer the best game. But you can also now get maps from me on Itch.io at anarsis.itch.io. I am in the process of putting up all of my RPG sets on my RPG assets, so my campaign maps and my portrait token borders. I'm in the process of getting all of those up on Itch.io, and right now you can get the entire campaign overworld series, so that's 11 maps with map markers and tokens and compass roses and all of that. All of them, all 11 sets are up, and you can get them in a bundle for $10 off right now if you get them all together. So if you play games on digital tabletops or you want to print those maps out, you can do that. You can also, I'm trying a new thing with them. They are available individually with commercial licenses, so if you would like to use them in your RPG shows, or your RPG, like, adventure modules, or finished published games, you can buy a commercial license for those maps as well. So, that's the thing. Only other thing I'll shout out before I run out of here and eat dinner and whatnot is my Patreon, which is the best way to support me, I think, and the shows that I run here. We have far outstripped the goal for me to do monthly giveaways again, which I'm just blown away by everybody's response to stuff on Twitter. That has been huge, but that also means we are over 2/3 of the way to me releasing homebrew content, homebrew design for new games that I'm making, homebrew rules, classes, spells, etc. for games like Ryutama and Dungeon World, all of that fun stuff. We're real close. We're about $40 off, which is like 8 Twitch subs. So that's not far. If you've got some money to sling and you want to sling it at a Patreon, take a look, and it will result in things that get made for everyone. And yeah, oh my goodness, Jess, thank you for the sub, and in doing so reminding me that I have a lot of people to say thank you to tonight. Thank you as well to Matthias for the 9-month resub. Holy crap, that's a sub, baby.
Twitch,
That's
baby.
We gotta Matthias, you gotta let me know what name we're given that sweet bab. Matthias, again, shout out for helping me with the German on Talia's spell chants.
Yeah.
Janaya, who is right here, thank you for the 13-month resub. Holy crap, that is
Lucky
over a year.
13.
Lucky 13, and we didn't die. Look at that.
And you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice.
that's true. I'm just gonna say that damage roll is thanks to you. Thank you to Carbon Neutral for the follow, Twilight's Falling for the host, Carbon Neutral also for the host, Ninja Pseudo for the follow. I saw you mentioning Ryutama. It's a great game. Definitely play it if you can, and I hope to see you in future Ryutama stuff. Jess for the almost a sub baby, the 8-month resub. Oh boy, I'm afraid of what that baby gets named.
It's going to be Soji, of course.
You just answered your own question. And thank you to Rock for the 200 bits at the top, or at the end of the show here, going toward that channel-wide bit goal for me to run things from the flood. Thank you all so much. This has been great. I knew this was going to be fun going into it. This is one of the shows on Fun Shots that I was most excited for, and this was so far from letting down any of those expectations. We went above and beyond, rather, and it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Jess, for being an amazing game master.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Kirby, for trying something new and scary. And
Well, thank you for having me. You've been wonderful
Absolutely.
people to do this with. So
I can think of no one else I would rather have be the defensive territorial armored mom.
Thank you. I take great pride in my role.
This group configuration is unlike any I have run a Ryutama game for, and I've run a few by now.
Yeah, this was definitely unique. Thank you.
Several moms and their very good dragon babies.
Yep. Sometimes the
I
family
can't wait
is,
to
etc.,
go back to
etc.
our dragon baby that's at home.
Thank you, Catherine, for taking time out of your busy schedule and working with us to make this happen. This
Yeah,
was great.
thank you
I'm
guys
so
for
glad.
bearing with me. I'm like the plebius, nubius, derposaurus. That doesn't ever, I don't know how to play tabletop RPGs, but
Lies.
Dylan and Jess make it so fun. So thank you guys for including me and letting me play with you. It's been really, really fun.
You
and
did
I'm
great.
sad.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
anyone in chat who has watched other shows will tell you that you are absolutely of a caliber to be playing role-playing games wherever you want to.
Yep. 1,000%.
I would love that.
Yes, more games.
More games.
After D23 ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will figure something out.
That would be lovely.
And of course, thank you to Janaya for playing with us and sweeping us along. With this
I'm
game.
just so happy I finally got to play a game with Janaya.
I know. Now it has to happen again, though.
Yep. More games.
We'll
This has
figure it out.
been-
Someday
Just
we're all gonna
acknowledge
bend
it.
time and space to play all the games we want.
Yeah.
We're gonna bend time
Time
and space,
zones,
make an
what are those?
extra day of the week that's RPG day.
Yes.
Yes.
Where it
Alright.
is your civil obligation to play
Yeah.
RPGs.
Yes, let's. I would like to talk a little bit about moral responsibility.
Okay.
Well, no, it would be an
Bye,
extra day.
everybody.
So we're still working 5 days a week, and we just get an extra day off.
All right, friends. Thanks for hanging out with us through this journey across both games. I hope to see you around, but most importantly, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night.